Hi everyone and welcome back to the reboot. Winter has arrived with a wallop. Since mid-January we've had 2 serious snowfalls, each one 6 to 8 inches, about 15 centimeters in total for each snowfall, and I've spent a lot of time getting this stuff out of the way. This year I've attached a snowblower to the front of my John Deere D125 tractor. It's working extremely well, really throws the snow around. And if you remember last year, you can check out some of the videos, I'll try to include a link here. I used a combination of my Ford 9N tractor with a blade on the back, as well as my snowblower from my house here in Ottawa. The blade on the back of the Ford 9N tractor, as well as my walk-behind snowblower, were not ideal. The blade on the tractor pushed the snow and it would create large mountains that I could move at a certain point, and I had to bring the snowblower to the property from my house from Ottawa. I needed to find a solution, a better solution for moving the snow at the property. It is that time of the year. I've gone out and purchased a used front mount mower for my John Deere tractor. It is a well-used unit. You can see here there's a bit of rust, but everything's solid. I've had a look at the unit quite extensively online, both through the John Deere specs and various front mount mowers that would fit on my unit. And this 42-inch snow blower will fit my unit. This goes obviously on the front of the tractor and this goes underneath, and it connects the pulley system to the drive system in the tractor. So this will be an ongoing project for the next month and a half in order to get this unit attached to my John Deere tractor and functioning, so that I have better capacity and better snow removal ability here at the property this winter. There are several things you need to do to your tractor to get it ready to receive this snowblower attachment. Let's get started. First thing you need to do is go and purchase this John Deere weight rack. It is very easy to install. You have to go to John Deere and get these brackets. One goes on the left and the right, straddling the axle. First step, I think it's a 10 millimeter socket, and you've got to take off one bolt from the chassis of the tractor. It's a little stiff. And this is identical, obviously reversed, for the other bracket on the other side of the tractor. So once you get that bolt out of the way, you have the space required. This bracket, if you're looking for these mounting brackets for these John Deere 100 series tractors, the part number is GXH24760, and this is the right bracket. I start off by putting that bolt that I took out, the existing bolt from the chassis. Now, John Deere parts aren't cheap, and I love my John Deere tractor and the weight rack that I bought in the back, but they're proprietary to a certain extent, obviously, and you can't blame them for that. But these bolts here that I think I went to a store here in Canada called Canadian Tire, I bought these ones for pennies. I'm going to say 30 cents each. The same bolt or a similar bolt at John Deere was a carriage bolt for this specific application, was $5. So, you can go get that John Deere bolt, or you can go to a big box store and
grab a bolt that'll do the job.
Now those brackets can stay on all year round. Whether or not you've got your mowing deck on your tractor or not, they can stay on during the summer season, so you don't have to remove those again. At least that's my understanding. Okay, so the brackets are on. There are a series of pins on each side that correspond with those brackets that I've just put on each side of the tractor. So that's the cotter pin that came with the unit. Again, the gentleman who I bought it from had that in there. I'm going to switch it out to these cotter pins here. And it's very simple. You can see how the system is intended to work. These pegs here are slotted into and drop down there. And then the big bolt goes through, mounting the unit on each side. So let's see if I can get that mounted for everybody to see, and for my own satisfaction.
That's not bad for height.
I don't know if you can see it there, but it's halfway in. That wasn't so hard. Now, the fun part. Sure, these are going to need some persuading. I've got to find a way to get that to pivot in there. Just like that. In. One cotter pin. Success. See it mounted on that side. Okay, that one's locked in place on that side as well. A couple of extra cotter pins. Let's back this baby up. Take it for a spin. I'm now also going to drive her inside on the concrete floor where it will be easier to work on it. So concerning this mule, or this lower end unit that is part and attaches underneath the center of the tractor to receive the drive belts to and from the tractor and the snowblower unit itself, again used, and I have had to refurbish this unit specifically. This little shaft here was missing on this pivoting wheel. There's a spring that was missing. Various chains were missing here. Pins were all missing. So there was a little refurbishing work required on this unit. Not a lot. I had to go online and make sure that the springs were going in the right direction. But again, while there is some surface rust, all of the bearings seem to be in good shape and will function hopefully well enough so that this isn't a problem for me. So if you're thinking of putting this snowblower or a similar snowblower on your D125 tractor, be aware that you're going to have to swap out your PTO cable, because for the mower deck, there's the spring fitting that goes into the mower deck for the PTO, and that's what you need to be able to hook into the engagement using the PTO on this mule attachment for the snowblower. That's a $30 item, so it's not a horrible thing, and it's pretty easy to swap out the PTO cable. So that's what I'm up to today, is getting that sweet PTO cable swapped out. It's not very hard to swap out the PTO cable. It connects in here, down there, there's a clip. The only thing that's a bit of a challenge here is that because I have the snowblower unit on the tractor, I can't open the hood the whole way. Therefore, the filming is going to be limited. I'll be in the way most of the time. First, this needs to come off. I don't know if anybody saw that, but that spring comes out of there. I don't know if anybody can see my hand in there, but there's a bolt that needs to come out of there, and that's what the PTO cable screws onto. Let's get that done. So this is where the PTO cable, it's in there onto that bolt that I took out, but in this connection right here, it's a snap-in, which is great, but on the way out you've got to have some needle-nose pliers that allows you to pinch on that flare right there so that that will release and come out. I am now able to remove the old one, not the old one, but the PTO cable that goes to the mowing deck, which I'll secure over there, and I'm able to install PTO for the snow thrower. Through, I don't know if anybody can see that. See how that just clips in there? Now I'm going to go to the other side and get that bolt back in position and screwed in. That's in. Now it's time to reattach the spring. Okay. So here there is a bracket that goes on to mount the cable. And it comes with a plastic here, and that's attached. That is great. It's working. So now the objective is to attach the cable to the mule. There, but that's where the cable will come through. But what I'm going to do first is there's a hook underneath here. I'm going to get that attached. Okay, that's attached there. Alright, that's that in place. The important attach points are the following. They're these pins holding brackets, and I've got these little pins to use, and then it's these here in the back, and obviously there are corresponding points on the underside of the tractor. You can see here is where those brackets get attached using these pins. And right here, there are pre-drilled holes in the chassis of the tractor, and that's where I'm going to be attaching some bolts for those slides to go onto. So there's one bolt attached there, and I'll do the same on the other side. Before I put the mule underneath, I'm going to get this belt attached to the front unit here. So there are the wheels there, where the belt goes up to the wheels on the snowblower attachment itself. You can see how it's threaded under those bottom ones and then up over the main wheel there. It then comes back and will be attached to the mule. So now I'm going to slide the mule into place. There's the anchor bolt in the back where the mule slides into. Then you can pivot it up and you can line this bracket up with the hole that's in the chassis and slide this pin in, and then it stays. So I'll go over to the other side, and I think I'll be able to put that one in on camera and you'll be able to see how that works. So again, we're here on the other side of the tractor. There's the bolt in the back and the washer, and here's the bracket on this side. That's snapped into position. I'm now going to try to get that belt up and into place. That's how it goes there. This second longer belt connects the mule to the snowblower unit itself. Okay, everybody, I don't know if you can see it all that well in here. It's a very tight fit. I'm filming down low. I put the light on the camera just in case. This is how to put the main belt in that attaches to the pulley system up front. So this one comes in underneath. So this here is the tensioner wheel. Got that incorrectly. And right now, the tensioner wheel has no tension essentially on it at all. And what we're going to do to tension that up is pull this over as far So to summarize, again, I hope you can see that all right. The belt comes forward around this wheel, back onto this side of this wheel, which is the tensioner, and then back around this way around this wheel, which connects directly into the upper system and the belt that feeds over to the drive that comes directly down from the motor. And as you can see, the belt goes forward, up around the pulley there, which drives the auger inside the snowblower head itself. So, that's how the belts go in. Alright, time to see if all this tinkering is going to pay off. I've installed this used snowblower, the PTO cable, several belts. Now let's hit that test run and see if it's working okay. Seems to be working, but as usual, when installing something used, the rubber's going to hit the road when I actually get to use it for the first time. As I mentioned earlier, this is a bracket, a weight rack bracket that goes with John Deere. And beyond that, my weights are a set of homemade specials. These are literally weights I made 30 years ago. Some leftover steel material in a machine shop that I worked at during summer vacation, a summer job during university years. And these are each about 20 pounds. Believe it or not, these holes here match up with the holes, drilled holes in the back of the bracket. So this bracket here can carry 80 pounds, and I said this is 60. Oh, sorry, yeah, 60. The three of them together. So let's see how this works. I also purchased and installed some chains for the back wheels on the tractor. You'll see those in the video at various points. Again, purchased from John Deere. It fits the tires perfectly and makes the system work quite smoothly. So far, I'm pleased with the way the snowblower system's working on my John Deere. It's moving the snow. It's much less of a struggle than it was last winter so far. And it's actually kind of enjoyable, which is a bit of an odd thing to say about clearing snow, but it is enjoyable.